Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far, and welcome to today's video where I'm going to be sharing all of the information, all of my thoughts and all of the tea on the upcoming second installment of the Pat McGrath by Bridgerton collections. So if you want to know what is going to be available in this Pat McGrath by Bridgerton 2 collection, if you want to see all the swatches, the prices, if you want to know what I'm going to be picking up and all of my thoughts on all of these beautiful products, then let's get started. I also just want to let you guys know, if you didn't, that Pat McGrath currently has a sale on. Everything was pegged as being 25% off. However, for the vast majority of people, we're finding that as they added products to their cart, there was an automatic code that was being applied to their checkout, and they were actually getting everything for like more than 50% off. I think people were getting an extra 50% off the sale prices. So they were getting motherships for like £40, which is insane. So if that sale is still going, then give that discount code a try if it's not automatically applying. For lots of people, if you log into your account at that code, or it might just add itself automatically. Lots of people that code was working for, and it was just applying itself. I don't know what was going on. Maybe they'll have caught it and that extra discount won't be going on anymore, but always worth a try at that price. So I will just say, I'm going to give you the pricing information during this video that is currently showing on Pat's website in the preview of this collection. However, please take this with a slight pinch of salt, because this happens every time Pat has a collection and she puts a preview up of what's going to be available on her website with the prices, and they have a habit of changing on launch day. What I suspect is happening is that the tax has not been added to these preview prices. So it's possible that these are the final prices. It's also possible they're going to go up by a few pounds when VAT suddenly gets added on launch day. So these are the prices that are currently showing on her website. They may be the final prices, but they also may be slightly lower than what we'll actually have to pay on launch day. That being said, on launch day, as always, we will expect to see that 10% discount that is always available on launch day. There'll be a code for early access, and with that code, you'll get 10% off when you put it into the discount box at checkout. So we'll hopefully be able to get pretty much around these prices. Once they go up a bit and then we take off the 10%, they will be around the accurate prices that we'll have to pay. So this second Bridgerton collection is much larger than the first one. All we saw in the previous collection was a £6 eyeshadow palette, 2 highlighters, and that pre-existing re-promoted blush trio that was just in the updated Bridgerton packaging but did previously exist in Pat's collection. So a very limited collection. Really, it was just an eyeshadow palette and a couple of highlighters. This collection, second time around collaborating with Bridgerton, is much bigger, but much more controversial. When I posted the reveal of all of the products on my Instagram, the comments were as mixed as my own thoughts in my head. We had everything from people saying, oh my goodness, I'm dying, I want all of it, wow, it's incredible, it's stunning, it's glorious, all the way down to the people who were just like, it's just the same old thing, it's exactly the same as the first collection, the eyeshadow palettes are too similar, it's all just skippable for me. Lots of people were slandering the blush packaging, the palette packaging. Lots of people were comparing it to like the likes of Too Faced. It just didn't look as luxe as the brand usually does. There's a lot of different opinions around this launch. It seems to be a very controversial, a very divisive one. So let's take a look. So possibly the most controversial item of this collection is the Belle of the Ball eyeshadow palette. And the reason why I think this is so controversial, many people are just saying this is just too similar to the previous collection, the previous Bridgerton palette. Obviously the packaging is now pink for this collection versus the blue in the initial collection. And yeah, can't disagree with that. It is a very similar beast. There are some differences when you line them up side by side. Obviously that chartreuse greeny gold shift shade in the bottom right is a new and different shade, quite different to anything that was in the first palette. But outside of that, the other 5 shades have just been slightly moved around and are slightly different in undertone and in depth than the original. So all in all, it is incredibly similar to the initial launch. In this one, we do have 2 astral shades, which is fantastic. Lots of us love a good astral shade. And looking at this palette standalone, forgetting its similarity to the initial collection, I think this is a gorgeous palette. I was really surprised by the original Bridgerton palette. It's the eyeshadow I have on my lids today, by the way. I didn't think I would love it as much as I did, and actually in reality on the eyes I loved it so much more than I thought I was going to based off of the pictures and just my expectation. I will definitely pick this eyeshadow palette up, if for no other reason than to review it and to share my thoughts with you, but it is absolutely skippable, especially if you have the original one. This isn't going to give you a huge amount of difference once these shadows are applied on the eye. You are going to be able to achieve the same looks with this that you will with the original if you already own that one. So this palette features a velvety plum matte, a peony pink satin matte eye blush, a luminous pale rose gold highlighter, and an electrifying pair of sparkling astral shades in pastel aqua metallic and divinely deepened chartreuse. Currently the price is showing as £50. I kind of expect that to stay at £50, so you'll be able to get this on launch date probably for £45 if we get the usual 10% off. I do think when you look at the swatches you can see the differences more, like it looks more different in the swatches than it does in the side-by-side pictures of the palette, and I do think that that blue has a lot more base in this second palette, whereas the initial blue, it's more of a topper. It doesn't have a lot of base to it. It kind of takes on the hue of what's ever underneath it a lot more. It's kind of a silvery blue, but it does have less base. This looks more opaque to me. It looks like it has more of a blue base. It looks much brighter, and obviously that green is completely different to anything in the original palette. If you do own the original, once this is on the eye, you are going to get a very similar look. It's going to do the same thing, achieve the same job, so you can absolutely skip on this with no FOMO if you purchased the first palette. For me, I think side by side, I might prefer the new one actually, because I do think with that extra green, that chartreuse in there, it makes it a bit more exciting, and I think I'm going to prefer that lighter blue as well, but it remains to be seen. Of course, I'll give you my thoughts once it's here and I've tried it out. So moving along now to probably the second most controversial, or maybe the first, depending on your thoughts, but certainly another very divisive product, and that is this Blushing Delights palette. So this is a palette featuring 3 baked blushes and 1 highlight. Now when I saw this, I almost lost my mind because it's a blush palette from Pat McGrath, and these are all new shades. Very exciting for me. I'm a huge fan of Pat McGrath's blushes, and I've been desperately wanting her to bring out some other colours, some new shades in her blushes. So this just made all my dreams come true. However, as many of you pointed out, you know me so well, this is not going to fit nicely in my blush drawer. This is a very large, bulky looking packaging. This is the product that lots of people were comparing to the likes of Too Faced. It just doesn't look very luxurious. It doesn't have that super chic, understated Pat McGrath packaging that we kind of expect. This is much louder, much larger, and just doesn't look like Pat McGrath to lots of people, and I would agree with that. So as I said, all new shades in here. We have Aphrodisia, which is this gorgeous orange coral shade. We have Champagne Venus, which looks like a sort of gold champagne highlighter, and then we have a bright fuchsia pink and that stunning berry shade. Now those two, Budding Romance, which is the pink, and Berry Brilliance, which is obviously the berry shade, are not my typical shades of blush that I reach for. Aphrodisia absolutely is, and I am excited to try this. Now I can't see it being confirmed anywhere, but but I suspect these blushes are actually a new formula. Pat does love to play around with new and updating her formulas, but just in the description of these, where these are described as having a pearl finish, her original blushes had either a matte finish or what she described as a satin pearl finish. So there were two different finishes in her original blush formula, and I was obsessed. My favourites were absolutely the satin pearls. Now these are described as a multi-dimensional pearl, so just that slightly different wording there makes me think that these are going to be a slightly different formula. Obviously they are baked, so I am super excited to try this new blush formula, especially that Aphrodisia. That is right up my street for a blush. The other two less so, but I'm willing to accept that so that I can just try all the shades for you. So I will certainly be purchasing the blush palette. At the moment, this is priced at £47. We'll see if that stays the price or it goes up a little on launch day. Again, I would say if you own a lot of Pat's single blushes already, there are no really different shades here as to what we already own. I would say all three of these shades, there's something quite similar to her original singles. So again, you don't need to get the FOMO. If you have a lot of Pat's blushes already, these aren't really going to offer you anything wildly different. If, like me, you only really like one or two shades out of the palette, then it's not really going to be worth it for you to add this to your collection, because it is expensive, because it is a palette of 4 products and with all of that extra packaging, etc. So, you know, that's a lot of money. You could pick up one of her 3 pans of blushes for a lot less than that in the sale, and just generally that's a lot of money to spend for quite a small amount of product, and some product that ultimately we already do have these types of blushes and highlight in our collection, most of us. So now let's move on to the absolutely least interesting item in the whole collection, for me at least, and that is the scintillating Diamond Body Shimmer. So this is obviously a highlighter, comes with a little poof to apply to the body. Now these type of products just do not appeal to me whatsoever. This is a very easy pass. I don't use body shimmer of any kind, literally never. Yeah, I never really use these types of products. Even if I was going to a really big event, you know, black tie, gorgeous dress, then I typically would use a sort of luminous body lotion. Something like MAC's Strobe Cream is more what I might use on my legs or shoulders. This sort of shimmering powder is just not my vibe. It's just not something that I would use. So this is going to be an easy pass for me. It is available in 2 different shades. We have Pale Moon, which is a platinum pink with silver pearl sparkle, and Golden Majesty, which is a neutral yellow gold shimmer. I did take a screenshot, so apologies about the quality of this photo, but it is a screenshot from a video, so it's obviously not the highest quality. But this is what this product actually looks like on the skin. It is very glittery, very sparkly. It's not a sort of glow or a luminosity. It has a lot of glitter and a lot of sparkle in there, so that's just something to bear in mind. So this is currently priced at £40 and is described as a loose body shimmer with micro perfecting pearl blend, translucent coverage, and is lightly fragranced. So that's definitely something to note. Typically Pat McGrath's products have no fragrance. There's barely any fragrance in any of her products that I have used anyway. Very rare to see fragranced products from Pat McGrath, so you may not be expecting that, so just something to be aware of. Again, very large, very bulky packaging, not really typical to the brand's usual aesthetic. Probably quite divisive. I'm sure some people will absolutely love it, but I'm seeing a lot of comments just saying this is too large. It's cheapening the brand. It doesn't really say Pat McGrath to lots of people. So please let us know what your thoughts are on this scintillating diamond body shimmer. Do you use these types of products? I just don't use them. It's very easy for me to skip on this because it's just not something I like or use. Do you like and use these? Do you plan to pick this up? Please let us know in the comment section. And next we have probably the least controversial product in this whole lineup, and that is the lipsticks. We didn't get any lipsticks in the first Bridgerton collection. We've got a whole heap of lipsticks in this round, and I am very excited about these for a few reasons. So we have 7 shades on offer, and these are Pat's satin finish lipsticks. If you don't know her Luxe Trance formula, oh my goodness, it's one of my absolute favorite lipsticks. Really beautiful finish, gorgeous satin sheen to the finish, very comfortable, very opaque. It's been out of stock for months and months and months. They're never available, almost always. I think that every shade now in the Luxe Trance is fully out of stock everywhere. You cannot find them, and it's been very frustrating because it's such a great formula. And here we have 7 shades of the stunning satin formula. I'm not sure if 100% if it's the exact same formula as her Luxe Trance. Obviously it has a different name. It's called the Satin Allure lipstick, so likely to be a slightly different formula, but just still very exciting to get a non-matte lipstick from Pat McGrath, because it has been a very long time since that was an option. So 2 different colours of bullet here. We have the blue with the bow and the pink with the bow, depending on which shade you choose. I'm definitely going to be picking up a couple of these lipsticks, but certainly not all. So first up we have Nude Romantique 2. And this is described as a cool neutral pink nude and comes in the blue packaging. Next up, also in the blue packaging, we have Veiled Rose, and this is described as a mid-tone mauve pink. Also in the blue, we have Infatuation, which is a vivid cool tone berry pink. And the last shade in the blue bullet is Elson 5, True Blue Red. This is the first one that is going to be coming home with me. I think that's a gorgeous shade. Elson is very famous. This is now the 5th Elson variety that we have, and this time in this Satin Allure lipstick formula, so I'm very excited for this one. Definitely going to pick that one up. And now in the pink, or is it peach, pinky peach, perhaps, bullet, we have Venusian Peach. I'm assuming that's how that's pronounced, which is a light peachy nude. This is the second lipstick. Of course, it's a peachy nude. That will be going on my shopping list. We then have Negligee, which is a neutral pink beige. Again, that's kind of on my maybe. I'm not 100% sure about that one, but I do like the looks of that gorgeous nude, and being able to have a satin nude from Pat McGrath, I might have to jump on that train. And finally, we have In Trance, which is a warm flesh rose. So of the lipsticks, 3 are on my list, and that is Negligee, Elson 5 and Venusian Peach. So those are the 3 that stand out for me. Now these are described as a satin shine finish with medium buildable coverage, comfortable weightless creamy texture, flatters all skin tones, hydrates and conditions. And these feature an infusion of botanical collagen and passion fruit oil to create a mesmerizing dewy effect, according to the brand. So these are the only product in this collection that currently isn't priced on the website. It doesn't have a preview price to it. But I would expect these to be around the £36 mark. That's around where Pat's lipsticks usually sit, so that would be my guess for where we can expect these to be priced. And lastly, we have the Legendary Wear Velvet Kohl eyeliner, priced at £22. Currently, it's a eyeliner, a black eyeliner with a detachable sharpener and a soft matte finish. I mean, if you hadn't guessed it, this is a very easy pass for me. It's a black eyeliner. I don't use a lot of eyeliner. Not really something I can personally get super excited about, but please, as always, let us know in the comment section if that for you is the most exciting part of this whole collection. It could certainly be the case for somebody. So there you have it. Those are all of the products that are going to be available in this coming soon Bridgerton 2 collection from Pat McGrath. We've yet to have a confirmed date from the brand. If we do get one, I will pop it in the description, or I'll pin a comment letting you know when it's going to launch. But I would expect it to be in about a week's time, possibly. Typically Pat releases on a Friday. I don't know if it's going to be too quick to see this release this Friday, so I'm kind of guessing that it will be next Friday, but could be this Friday. Watch this space. The last thing I just want to remind you guys, or let you know if you haven't shopped one of these collections from Pat before, 1 is with the code you'll get 10% off, and 2, there are almost always with these collections from Pat McGrath bundles that save quite a lot of money. She never really previews them. She never really shows us what the bundles are going to be until they're up on the website. And in the previous launch, the bundles weren't available on the website and for like 10 minutes after the launch had started. So that is definitely a way to save quite a lot of money if you plan on picking up more than one item. I don't think this is going to sell out in moments. The previous collection, you know, it was up on the website for a fair amount of time, a good few hours, and then it was restocked. And that restock is still available on her website months later, and with the second collection around the corner, you can still get all of the original Bridgerton collection products on her website. So please don't feel like you have to panic buy everything, that you have to immediately race and get everything and feel very, very stressed on launch day, because I really don't expect this collection to go any differently. I think maybe it will sell out on the first day, but I do then expect it to be restocked. So please don't feel like you desperately need to get your credit card out and panic buy all of these products. We can definitely take a breather. You can wait to see if it gets restocked. If now is not a great time for you to be buying all of these Pat McGrath products, please don't feel pressured to do so. I know there's a lot of hype around it. There's a lot of conversation around it, as there is with any Pat McGrath launch. However, I would expect this to, even if it does sell out, to be restocked at a future date, and you can buy it in a much more orderly fashion without all of the stress and the calamity that usually happens on a Pat McGrath launch day. So as always, please let me know what of this collection is really speaking to you. If any of it, are you one of these people who just hates all of it and thinks it's all awful and you don't like any of the packaging and it's too similar to the original collection, or are you just in heaven and this is all just really speaking to you? Please let us know in the comment section down below. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I'd love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye.